Hello and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I wanted to share with you guys 3 super easy chicken recipes you can make at home for your whole family. We're going to start with my personal favorite, Ritz cracker and cheese chicken. For this, I started with 1 sleeve of Ritz crackers and pulled them in my food processor until they became breadcrumbs. If you don't have a food processor, it's okay, you can use your blender. Now what I have here is 2 chicken breasts that I sliced into chicken cutlets. I also have some sour cream, some shredded sharp cheddar, and my Ritz crumbs. Okay, now super easy. All I did was grab my chicken, coat it in sour cream on both sides, pass it onto the cheese, coat it on both sides, then pass it onto the Ritz cracker crumbs, coat it on both sides, then pass it onto a baking sheet lined with parchment paper. Then I just did this 3 more times, and yes, your hands are gonna be really messy, so just wash your hands in between each chicken breast and you'll be fine. Also, make sure you coat the chicken really well in the sour cream, because where the sour cream is where everything's going to stick. So if your chicken breast doesn't have enough sour cream, the cheese and the crumbs won't stick. Lastly, I covered my chicken with aluminum foil and baked at 375 degrees Fahrenheit for about 25 minutes. Then I removed the aluminum foil and baked it for 10 more minutes. Okay, so this is how your chicken's gonna look when it's done, and don't be alarmed, don't think something went wrong. This is exactly how it should look. I know it looks crazy, I know it looks wrong, but trust me, all that is just some cheese that melted and decided to run away from the chicken. So when you serve it, just remove all those edges and I promise you, you're going to love it. Next recipe, it's a mix between honey lime chicken and cilantro lime chicken. To begin this recipe, we need a marinade, and for that I used 1/2 cup of olive oil, 1/3 of a cup of lime juice, 2.5 tablespoons of soy sauce, 1 tablespoon of honey, 2 teaspoons of minced garlic, 1/2 teaspoon of cumin, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and 1/4 teaspoon of pepper. Then I also added 3/4 cup of chopped cilantro and mixed everything together. For the chicken, I used 2 chicken breasts sliced into cutlets. Then I put my chicken and my marinade into a Ziploc bag, closed it, and let it marinate in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes. This is one of those recipes that you can use to make ahead of time, so you can make it at night, let it marinate all night in the refrigerator, and cook it the next day. After 30 minutes, I placed my chicken and my marinade into a pan over medium-high heat and let that cook about 3/4 of the way. When my chicken was about 3/4 of the way cooked through, I removed it from the heat, and then I let those liquids keep boiling until they reduce about half the amount. Now that the liquid reduced quite a bit, leaving mainly the oil, I put my chicken back because I want to brown it on both sides. Once my chicken was nice and golden brown, I removed it from the pan and I put it into a plate with paper towels to absorb the excess oil. And this is the end result. You can serve it however you want, with rice, pasta, mashed potatoes. What I like to do is cut it into little pieces, serve it in pita bread with lettuce, tomatoes, onions, and cheese. It's really, really good. For our last recipe, we have another citrusy one, but this one has a kick to it, you'll see. This is garlic lemon dill chicken. I started with 2 chicken breasts sliced into cutlets with 1 tablespoon of oil in a pan over medium-high heat. I seasoned my chicken with salt and pepper on both sides and cooked it all the way through. When my chicken was cooked, I removed it from the heat, and in that same pan, I added half a cup of diced onions. When the onions were almost fully cooked, I added half a tablespoon of butter and 2 teaspoons of minced garlic. Then I added 1 cup of chicken broth, 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, and here comes the kick. Half a teaspoon of red pepper flakes. I know that might not be a kick for you, but I don't eat a lot of spicy, so it's definitely a kick for me. You can actually add more if you prefer, or not at all if you're gonna make it for your kids. I also added about a teaspoon of the chicken bouillon flavoring. You can add salt and pepper if you prefer, and then I let this simmer for about 5 minutes. Once the liquids had reduced a little bit, I added half a cup of heavy cream and 1 teaspoon of chopped dill. After mixing everything together, I placed my chicken back in, turn it around to coat it on both sides, and for presentation, I added some lemon slices and dill. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, but most importantly, I hope it's helpful to you. I know that during these hard times, a lot of people are trying to stay at home and cook from home, and I hope this video brings you new ideas of foods to make for you and your family. Again, thank you so much for watching, stay safe, and I will see you in the next video.